Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that Keisuke apparently has more money in a single week than I will ever have in my lifetime, and that he suffers from rich kid syndrome. Anyways, let's just hop right in. How many gigs have you guys played so far? None. None? Hiya. Up until Miyu joined, we didn't really have a drummer, so we couldn't perform. Plus, Ichigo-san isn't happy with the current roster. She wanted us to have another vocalist. Double vocals? Yeah, I just don't think a girl with a voice like mine can sing all the songs I'd want our band to do. But your voice is so incredible, Ichigo-san. I'm not saying I think I'm bad, I just don't think I'm a perfect fit for the genre. Plus, I think having a male singer together with me could open so many doors for us. A male singer, huh? Keisuke immediately notices the look on my face. Oh, hiya. In that case, why don't you... I feel a hard kick on my shin. Ow! The band members all stare at me in shock, with the exception of the cat and the raven, who seem completely unaffected by it. Oops, sorry, I slipped. Keisuke! Please be a little more gentle with me. I make no promises. Jeez, I'm just trying to help you! If you're suggesting we have Kei-chan as another singer, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Huh? Even Kagaho reacted this time. What? Me? As a singer? What are you talking about? Yeah, Ichigo-san, you can't just decide that out of nowhere. We asked Keisuke-san if he could play an instrument or sing when he first joined, and he said no. That's not even the only problem here. I've been practicing for the past 2 years to become the secondary singer with Ichigo-san. You can't just have someone else take my place. Don't be ridiculous. We already told you your voice sucks. We're not having you as a singer, plain and simple. Ichigo-san, can you explain? I'd like to hear an explanation as well. Where did that idea even come from? Don't let Yuichi-san's joking around confuse you. I know you can sing. Huh? She mutters something like that as if it were nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a horrible singer. I heard you on the rooftop a while ago. Huh? On the rooftop? Could it have been the same day that I walked in on him singing? I can't imagine him having done it more than once. Ichigo nods. Yeah, I was thinking of going upstairs to the rooftop to skip class that day, and I heard someone singing. I didn't know who it was at first, but I heard him muttering to himself every now and then. Talking about how he got the lyrics wrong, or how the note should have been higher. That's when I recognized it was Kei-chan. Oh, hiya. What? You heard that? She nods again. You're a very good singer. I've been wanting to get you to become our lead singer since I heard you on the roof. I was actually going to bring it up today, but your friend brought the subject up for me. I'm sorry? Stop apologizing. Sorry. Keisuke, is it true that you can sing? Keisuke? He's gone completely silent. Yeah, Kei-kun can sing and play guitar really well. Yuichi-san! Wait, he can play the guitar too? Great! That means we can finally kick Kurusu out and have a normal guitarist. What? Agreed. Wow, these people are merciless. You can play the guitar too? I didn't know that. I mean, it's not like I'm good or anything. It's just a hobby. Yes, because the rest of us play professionally, don't we? I'm sorry. I didn't mean... It's fine. I just don't like the fact that I was lied to. Kei-chan, could you show the rest of us both your singing and your guitar? That's a bit... We're not gonna bite or anything, you know. From the very beginning, we said this club was open to anyone who is willing to learn an instrument, so long as they actually put in the effort. If it turned out that you're not all that good, we'd just help you practice. It's true. I'd never touched a keyboard before until I joined this club. I need some time to think about it. Come on, what's the worst I can have? Not another word from you, blabbermouth. Sorry! Come on, Kei-chan, don't be so upset at him. It's not like he said anything horrible about you. Yeah, you joined this club because you wanted to sing, didn't you? You did? There you go, running your mouth again. This is why I didn't want to bring you in the first place. Sorry. I have to learn to keep my mouth shut sometimes. Even if Kei-kun's reactions are funny as hell. Yuichi-san and some of my friends have heard me singing before and seemed very supportive of it, so I decided to give it a try. But when I saw how good you all were, I chickened out because I didn't think there was any way I could compare. Is that so? I thought you were a better singer than me. That's why I wanted you to be the lead vocal. With all due respect, Ichigo-san, I can't see that I can. You're kidding, right? Everyone but Ichigo and I stared at the raven with shock and confusion. The dude, on the other hand, seems completely unaffected by it. I joined this band because I believed Ichigo was something special, and I decided to support her no matter what she did. If she thinks her becoming backing vocal to someone else is the best decision, then I choose to trust her. That's insane. Don't underestimate us founding members. We know what we're talking about. Kagaho and I have created this band from the ground up ourselves. Who do you think scouted all of our other talented members? I don't know. I was just a member of the judo club until Ichigo-san saw me playing around with an acoustic guitar last year and invited me to join the band. Ichigo-san is the one who got me to transfer to this school after she saw me practicing the drums by myself at a rehearsal studio. She was the one who said the keyboard would be a good fit for me when I mentioned wanting to join the band. Wow. I didn't know any of that. Ichigo is a good judge of talent and character. She's the only reason this band got together in the first place. Stop it, you guys. You're going to make me blush. At least she's modest. Can I have some time to think about it? Of course, I don't want to pressure you. That's funny, because that's exactly what you're doing. Don't mind it. Yeah, right. I have to admit, I'm also interested in hearing this. I've never seen Ichigo praise another vocalist like this. I'm nothing special, I promise you that. Somehow I don't buy it. Yeah, believe whatever you want to believe. Jeez, it doesn't have to act like it's the end of the world. This is the reason you even joined this club in the first place. Come on, Kei-kun, I'm sure you can wow all of them. You're amazing after all. You've never seen them perform before. Don't say such ridiculous things without knowing what they're capable of. Sorry. You sure are apologizing a lot today. I guess. Huh? Ichigo-san? Ichigo launches herself at me, wrapping both of her arms around my right arm and looking up at me with a devious smile. Well, we can certainly fix that. Are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? I look at the Raven and see him smiling knowingly at the two of us. You bet. Kagaho nods, turning his back to us and walking towards the instruments at the center of the room. Everyone in positions. We're going to play now. Ooh, are we going to show him what we can do? Well, it's not like we weren't going to rehearse today anyway. Having one more person in here isn't going to make much of a difference. I agree. My ears are ringing so much. I mostly blanked out while they were playing. I remember thinking that they were amazing and then blank. I ended up watching the band for over an hour. So that's Keisuke's band, huh? I have to admit, they sounded really good. I might have just become a fan. I still think they could sound even more amazing with him in it, though. Their vocalist said she wanted to get Keikun to join them as a vocalist. Maybe I can look for a way to push him into doing that. Yeah, I think that's just what I'm going to do. But for now, I'm going to head home and lie down for a bit. I'm still feeling a little dizzy from the loud music. May 22nd, day 13. As soon as I step outside of the air, a wave of dry heat assaults me. The sudden shift in temperature sends a shiver down my spine. Keikun had sent one of his limousines to pick me up today, and that thing had such a powerful AC inside that I felt like I was inside of a blizzard. Well, I might be exaggerating just a tad, but it's true that this thing gets cold as hell. Good evening, sir. The young master has been expecting you. Oh, right, that's Keisuke. I'm not used to hearing him being called that way. The fox chuckles, his voice carrying softly and almost melodically through the air. I have to say, he does have a certain air of elegance to him, even if he is a butler. I guess that's to be expected from someone that works with the rich. I suppose there are many things about the young master that would surprise you. I'm not sure if surprise is the right term for this situation here. Well, no matter. Shall I take you to the young master's room? Or maybe you'd prefer to eat something before you go to him. I could offer you some tea. No, that's fine. I already had lunch. I understand. In that case, follow me. Is this where we meet Alex? Because I kind of want to meet him. With a smile, the butler calmly points down the hallway and turns to walk away from me. Huh, did Keisuke grow up with this kind of pampering every day? In that case, I think he actually turned out more down-to-earth than I'd expect. The more you know. Excuse me, young master, your guest has arrived. Ah, Yuichi-san, thank you for bringing him here, Kuroda. It was my pleasure. Oh my! My laptop just lagged. Woohoo! But seriously, why is the butler hot? Like he's got the show from the shirt. It looks like he's got the showichi titties. In which case you just gotta take his tits and just you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm making the motion as if I'm like just you know like just like stuffing my face into the titties. Just it was my pleasure. Don't hesitate to call if I'm needed. I won't. Very well. If you'll excuse me, I must return to my duties. Welcome to my house, Yuichi-san. I'm happy to have been invited, although I can't lie that I'm a little jealous. Seems I wasn't the first person you ever invited, huh? I shoot Saya a curious glance. Saya-chan, what are you doing here? What do you mean, what am I doing here? Am I not allowed to visit a friend? You're saying he's a DILF? Yes, he is a DILF. That's not what I mean. I'm just surprised to see you here since Keikun said he never invited anyone else to his place. I thought I was the first. This isn't a competition, you know. Besides, Mizuguchi-san is my closest friend. Does it really surprise you that much that I invite her? I guess that's true. Hey, Yuichi-kun, what do you think of this place? Isn't it huge? My jaw nearly hit the floor when I first saw it. It really is. I get the feeling that I'd easily get lost in this place if I didn't have someone guiding me around. It's not just a feeling. Getting lost here isn't hard at all. Seriously? Yes! Hi, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us where you can enter a romantic relationship with your peers, but you want to... But the DILFs, you just want to... You know. Seriously? One time, right after I moved here, I got lost in the back garden. It took the servants 2 hours to find me. Sheesh, why would someone want a house this needlessly big in the first place? I'm afraid the answer isn't going to do much to help clarify stuff. From what I've learned over the years, it's for no reason other than we can. You're not like that, though. Why is that? Who knows? Perhaps my upbringing before I moved here gives me a little sense of perspective. It's not as if I'm perfectly average either. I'm well aware that I sometimes do or say outlandish things out of my own naivete. Like thinking a place that charges near minimum wage for a tub of ice cream is cheap. Yeah, something like that. You're still pretty easy to talk to. I was really surprised when I found out you were some mega rich kid because you don't really act like it. I'll choose to take that as a compliment. By the way, Yuichi-san, Sai-chan and I were going to play some games. Oh, wanna join us? I don't know. I don't think I had a stroke. I don't know, my heart is pumping blood like it should be. I don't think I had a stroke. Wanna join us? Oh, you mean we're not going to have an obnoxiously fancy tea party? Do you even want something like that? Of course not! I'm sure it'd be very boring anyway. Thank God. I was afraid I'd actually have to entertain the idea of drinking tea. Just because others are doing it doesn't mean you have to, too. But what about peer pressure? If we jumped off of a building, would you just follow suit? Depends. Are we doing bungee jump? Forget it. The main point is, we don't want a tea party, and you don't have to have tea. I can't see your fingers. I can't see your hand. So I don't know, but I'm just going to take a quick guess. 3. I don't know. Are you holding up 3 fingers? This is what my life has come to. But I can see perfectly fine. I can see perfect... Oh, that was my second guess. But I can see perfectly fine. I can see my computer monitor perfectly fine. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of dressing up and feeling fancy while drinking tea. I wonder if that would make me a proper lady. That's not... I think you need to grow a pair of boobs first if you want to be considered a lady. Alright, it is a shelter-in-place situation. Everyone hide. Everyone hide. Saya's going to murder us. Oh, fuck. I made a horrible mistake. Ah. Hiya. Ah. Hiya. Keikun makes a weird choking sound, turning to look at Sai with a gaping mouth. The words slipped out of my mind before I even gave them much thought. I mean, you're already a real baby, Saya-chan! I begin to cower from her, taking a few slow steps back, anticipating the physical punishment that undoubtedly awaits me. Instead, Saya blinks, looking at the two of us confused. Why are you guys staring at me like that? Huh? Mizuguchi-san, didn't you hear what he just said? I did. So? I mean, he's not wrong. What? Who are you and what did you do to Saya? What? Am I supposed to turn into a fire-breathing dragon every time someone makes a joke at my expense or something? Well, I mean, Shoichi is pregnant, so... Yes! And that's what we've come to expect of you over time anyway. Just yell at me already so we can get this over with. What? No! Come on! It's for my own peace of mind. What do I have to do with your peace of mind? I have to admit, this feels really weird. Well, I don't want to just go around whacking people upside the head whenever they tease me. Really? Because all the experience I've had dealing with you over this past year tells me otherwise. Seriously, what's with all these bruises we got in the past for making jokes then? That's for when you crossed the line. And talking about your non-existent breasts isn't crossing the line? Stop calling them non-existent, Haya. See? This does upset you! Why the hell aren't you hitting me? Saya huffs, her nose twitching multiple times with all those big jets of air. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe I don't want to be that kind of violent person anymore? I sneer, shaking my head sideways. Yeah, right, as if I'm ever going to buy that excuse. What? It really is hard to believe. Hey! You're like the most violent person I know. Ditto. Do you two really have such a low opinion of me? And Mizuguchi-san, there's a difference between an opinion and a fact. Hiya. Well, it was nice knowing you. It was nice knowing you. We are going to die. I am going to take it into my own hands. I'm going to take it into my own hands. It's time to go. Bye-byes. Don't mind me. I'm going to open up the window and jump out of it. Oh wait, no, it's wet outside. I don't feel like getting wet. Ah. She grits her teeth, clenching her fists in what are telltale signs of her fury. Did I get invited here just so the two of you could mock me? No, but at this point, I'm not even sure if you're really here. Perhaps I'm dreaming this whole thing up. That is one way to explain her weird behavior. Just shut up already! Ow! Why did I get slapped too? You joined in and mocked me. That wasn't mocking. I was legitimately concerned that something was wrong. See? I told you! You are violent! Damn, this stings. At least all is right with the world again. I don't like this outcome, but at least it's one thing that makes sense. You two suck! She crosses her arms, grumbling unhappily. Jeez, and I've lost the bet too. Bet? What bet? She looks away with a huff. I notice that her cheeks are slightly reddened now. It's not your concern. Ah, wait a second. As soon as she hears my tone of voice, Saya's entire body freezes. Did you make a bet with someone that you would be able to stop hitting people or something of the sorts? Because that would make a lot more sense. Ah! As if he noticed it too, Keisuke looks over at Saya, who is now making it a point to look away from us. I don't know what you were talking about. Okay, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Are you hearing it correctly? What do you mean by that? I don't know what you two are talking about. Mizuguchi-san. Yeah, there is no chill here. Keisuke's voice came out abnormally stern, almost commanding. Saya jumped and straightened herself out immediately in response. Please tell me that I did not just get hit because of a bet. I mean, it wasn't because of the bet. Exactly, I slapped you because you were... So this bet does exist. And if it weren't for this so-called bet, you would have reacted when Yuichi-san first teased you, and I would have remained uninvolved in the whole thing. I mean, not exactly. Mizuguchi-san. Saya gulps loudly, looking away from the two of us. Are you freaking kidding me? Who even makes a bet like that? Not hitting people should be a matter of common sense. Indeed. What a vulgar little wager. Jeez, dial down on the judgment a little. No. Who did you even make a bet with? Anyone who knows any of us, even just a little bit, would have been able to predict something like this happening. What? Of course not. It doesn't take much to imagine that we'd be confused if you suddenly stopped acting like normal. It also doesn't take much to imagine that you'd eventually reach your breaking point if we kept making comments about it. What you guys are suggesting here would require a prophetic degree of foresight. Would it? Would it really? Of course it would! The whole idea is ridiculous. As much as I hate to admit, it's hard to think of a person that could make those kinds of leaps in logic. Without the gift of hindsight, it would take a lot of imagination. No, I can think of just the person. Really? Who? 1 second. Hello, Yuichi? Were you the one who made the bet with Saya? From the other side of the call, laughter begins to echo. Seems he wasn't able to keep a straight face even through the phone. I called it! I fucking called it! Woo! Woo! It was Shoichi! Congratulations, Shoichi. Did she lash out on you guys yet? You knew this would happen! Who did you call? Keikun stands around confused. He leans closer to me in an attempt to hear Shoichi's voice on the other end of the line. Meanwhile, Sai is looking away from us both. Of course I did. I know you and Saya better than anyone else. It's not hard for me to imagine you piling on the grief on her until she cracked. I swear I'm gonna hit you tomorrow. Be my guest. In the meantime, this is punishment for not inviting me along. I can't invite you to someone else's house. I know. That's why I made sure that this would happen with Yoshihara around. That way he gets punished too. You're evil. Perhaps. Either way, I've got to go. Have fun. Oh, and remind Sai-chan that she owes me 6,000 yen. Who is that? Shoichi. What? What? I'll kill him. I'll just kill him tomorrow. Not if I get to him first. Aren't you guys going a little too far over a prank? I got slapped over that prank of his, so no. To be fair, you would have gotten slapped regardless. I'm the only one here who's gotten hit unduly. What? No way. He's right though. I would have slapped you after the first comment if it weren't for the bet. You hit me and now you're going to side with him? Side with him? There are no sides here. What are you talking about? Never mind. My cheeks are still tingling. I feel like I've been played. We've all been played, but it was mostly Saya. Do you want me to hit you again? No, ma'am! Spineless. Be quiet. Well, feel free to continue grumbling like a child. I'm going to get back to what we were doing before. What? You mean you won't help me plot Shoichi's demise? Demise? What are you, a child? I'm just going to try to have fun like we were going to. Yeah, Yoichi-kun, I'm the one who lost money here. Why are you complaining? Does my dignity mean nothing to you people? No. Nuh-uh. Not one bit, in fact. You two are horrible. It's my pleasure. Now, to choose a game to play, or what console to play. Why don't you just help us, Yuichi-san? That way it'll go faster. Jeez, no one really cares at all. Stop mumbling to yourself and get over here already. You're so mean. Yeah, haven't you heard? I'm horrible. Now get to it. What's the point? We can't play most games with only 3 people. Ah! Oh yeah, that's true. Fuck. Keisuke? How dare you? How dare you, Keisuke? How dare you use the fuck word in this fucking Christian Twitch channel? This is a Christian Twitch channel, Keisuke. How fucking dare you say fuck? I'm gonna need some eye bleach to help with the sheer amount of bullshit that I just experienced. What? Did I just hear you curse? The prim and proper Keikun? You heard nothing. I'm pretty sure You heard nothing! Okay, I heard nothing. Keisuke sighs, rubbing his forehead, his nose and brow twitching repeatedly. What will we do? Should we just play normal 2-player games and trade controllers? We could also just pick up some 4-player party game and play against a CPU. But playing against the CPU is super boring. It's better than having to trade controllers. That means 1/3 of everyone's time will be spent not playing. That's true. Actually, I have an idea. Oh? Keikun fiddles with his phone, typing something on it. There, it shouldn't take very long now. What did you... I am probably going to get copyrighted for this, but I don't care. I'm probably going to get copyrighted for this. Let me see if I can find it. Alright. Okay, there we go. Oh my god! Ads! Oh, here we go. This is what my life has come to. But seriously, why does he need to be that hot? Like, oh my god. You called me? Just then, a towering, muscled wolf wearing a tight butler vest walked into the room. His eyes looked stern and unapproachable. Definitely not the friendliest looking person I've seen. Big... The wolf's ears twitched at those words, focusing his eyes on the frightened-looking bunny. Eep! Calm down, Saya-chan. He's a friend. This is Alexander. He's been my butler and friend for years. Feel free to call him Alex. Hello. The wolf nods at us, looking us both up and down from top to bottom. I am also his bodyguard. That is my main occupation. There's no need to bring that up, Alex. It's not like I'm in need of protection in the first place. Oh, you mean to tell me that I imagine the pay cut I received after your wallet was stolen just a few days ago? Fair point. The wolf's eyes settle on me. Even though I know I shouldn't, I still get a little nervous when that piercing gaze is pointed right at me. If I remember correctly, you are Yuichi, yes? How do you know? He told me in the past of his friend Yuichi, who is a Shiba and had your features. I'm not going to go through the trouble of giving you the description he used. I see. It's a pleasure to meet you, Alex. Mm-hmm. His voice and expression are so maddeningly devoid of emotion. What's with so many people around me being so hard to read? And you were the one that was with Keisuke when his wallet was stolen. My stomach immediately sinks at those words. Oh god, he's going to blame me for that, isn't he? Alex? Keisuke's fur bristles up around his neck as he stares dangerously at the wolfman that easily towers over him. Without even looking at his employer, Alex holds up a hand as if to say, wait. Thank you for teaching this foolish fool about how careless he's been. Keisuke, Sai, and I nearly hit the floor with our jaws once he utters those words. Then, as if to say that he was having fun at our expense when we thought he was about to chastise me, the corners of his mouth quirk up in amusement. Did you just call me a fool? Twice? I'll call you that a third time if need be. Maybe even a fourth for good measure. Alex! Sai looks away from the two, covering her mouth as she attempts to keep herself from bursting into laughter. Don't laugh! You seem to be very flustered at the moment. Should I get you some tea? And don't tease me either! These two have a friendlier relationship than I thought they would, considering their circumstances. I guess I was worried over nothing, huh? Regardless, Yuichi, thank you for going through the trouble of helping this fool to get me a gift. It was ultimately unnecessary, but I still appreciate the gesture. There it is. You just called me a fool again. Yes, I did, and you have good ears, young master. Don't call me that. It just sounds gross when you do it. As you wish, my lord. We're not in the Middle Ages. I see. Forgive me, your grace. The amount of sass. Like, he's just slaying so hard right now. And now you're just mocking me, aren't you? Smart and humble. Truly a noble soul. Even I'm unable to hold back my laughter as they continue to bicker among themselves. Or in this case, Keikun continues to bicker with what is basically a giant brick wall, as Alexander's facial expression doesn't shift even a little bit through this whole exchange. Yeah, make fun of me, why don't you? Excuse me, Keisuke, but if you're going to sulk around instead of telling me what you wish for me to do, then may I be excused? I'm not going to take the bait this time. Oh, too bad. I'm 1 for 2, I guess. The reason I called you over is because we need one other player. One other Alexander at first begins to repeat Keisuke's request until the words sink in, and he starts looking from the hair to the entertainment center right next to us. After a few seconds, he wordlessly points at the video games and then back at him as if asking confirmation on the seemingly absurd request he was just given. Yes, I am asking you to play games with us. Keisuke, I hardly think that's You are my personal butler, among other things. No, that means you do what I ask you to do. I'm asking you to play games with us. I hardly think that's a complicated request. The wolf raises the eyebrow as if he was still having trouble believing the words he was hearing. Well, that is the gist of things. I do not think your grandmother would approve of such a thing. Grandmother doesn't approve of anything. Besides, the old hag isn't home now, is she? No, the mistress is visiting a friend's estate in the next town over and isn't expected home until tomorrow. See, there's nothing to worry about. I disagree, but I see that your mind is made up. It is. You'll play games with us. End of story. The wolf closes his eyes, pondering those words for a while. Very well. Either this is hardly the most absurd request you've made of me over the years. There is some truth to that, yes. Saya lifts up her hand as if she were trying to ask a question of the teacher in class. Well, I'll admit that it was hard to find an opportunity to interject in the middle of their conversation. Kinda like there was no space left for someone else in that exchange. I guess she's going to ask how I'll choose the pairs. That's what I was about to ask. I have no clue what's going on right now, but Mr. Wolf looks really climbable. Can I climb him? Can I also climb him? What? Even Alexander's expression falters for a second, looking at Saya with confusion and incredulity transparently showing on his face. I'm not a rock climbing wall. Aww. For some reason, she seems incredibly dejected at her weird request being denied. Mizuguchi-san, please have some sense of timing. When is it ever the right timing for you to ask to climb someone? Fair point. I clear my throat, calling everyone's attention towards me. If I may redirect this conversation back to normality? Please do, I beg you. How will we decide on the pairs? I know we haven't even decided what games to play, but it would be much easier to decide who we're going to be playing with first. That's true. I think I'd be able to get along well with whoever I were to pick as my partner, so maybe it wouldn't be fair for me to be the one choosing. On the other hand, if we were to leave it to chance, I'm the only one that does well no matter the result. Can Alex be my partner? That's true. Maybe we should have Alexander pick, since the only good pairing for him would be with you. While I appreciate the sentiment, I believe the guest should get to pick before the servant. That's a surprisingly hardcore thing to hear, even if it's true. What should we do, Yuichi-kun? Maybe we should flip a coin to decide which of us two gets to pick? I like that idea. Let's go with that. Do you have a coin? No. And then that's a stupid idea. Why did you suggest that? What happened to you liking the idea? Jeez, so quick to judge. I have a coin. Here, I'll flip it. Yuichi-san, you call it. What does Yuichi-kun get to call it? Because it was his idea. Sai grumbles unhappily, crossing her arms and tapping her foot a few times. That's fair, I guess. Okay, call it before I flip. Do we want to call heads or tails? Oh dear. Okay. Heads. Alright. I'll flip it now. It's heads. Yuichi-san gets to pick. Rats! Don't be a sore loser. She merely huffs in response. Who will you pick as your partner? That's a very good question. I think I already know. I think I already know the answer. I think I already know the answer. Is it even a choice? Is it even complicated? Is it even complicated? Yeah, I know. I'll go with Alex. Boo! I wanted to pick him. Why Alex? It's the one disadvantageous pairing for you. I mean, if you think about it, the only way we'd be able to make a good pairing for everyone with Alex around would be if I partnered with Saya. That's kind of restrictive. I suppose you're right about that. Still, you don't know Alex at all. Will you two even be able to cooperate? We both have mouths. It's all a matter of communication. Oh, why do I get the feeling that these words are going to blow up royally in your face? What about you, Alex? Are you okay with pairing up with Yuichi-kun? I don't mind it. Besides, I think this is a good opportunity to get to know the person you spend so much time with a little better. So this turned into a character interview. I'm okay with that. After helping you pick that gift for Alex and talking about him so much, I kind of want to know him better. Agreed. There's a logical reasons that I can live with. I believe we'll make for a good duo. On to victory, I say! Just don't complain. Just don't come to me to complain later. It took a lot of digging around before we'd each found games that we wanted to play. Alexander refrained from joining the discussion on what we should play, but he still picked up a game from the pile. Yeah, like, exactly. Both Alex and I have mouths. It can be used for kissing, among other things. I'm not going to go further because reasons. Alexander refrained from joining the discussion on what we should play, but he still picked up a game from the pile. I guess he's just not very vocal about his preference. Either way, since we couldn't settle on which one we'd choose with everyone having a different opinion, we decided to leave it to chance again. The four of us played rock, paper, scissors until the winner was decided. In this case, it was Alex. I'm not really sure what to do here. Just pick whatever you like. There isn't something I like. I never play video games. You've never played them. You've played them with me a few times. It's not like you're completely inexperienced with them. True, but I also don't know them enough to just choose something. I suppose that's true. Do you have a genre you like? Maybe we could help you pick a game if you told us what kind of game you would go for. Oh, that's actually a good idea. I haven't played many games with Keisuke before, but I seem to remember doing better with the shooters. Shooters? Yes. Is that a problem? Not a problem per se, I'm just not very good at those. Oh, right, I should pick something that my partner excels at so we have a higher chance of winning. No, just pick whatever you like. It'll be fine. Are you certain? Jeez, can't you just settle on something already? We're supposed to be playing a game, not watching a debate. Right, I'm sorry. I guess I'll go with the shooter. What are the options? Well, I don't play shooters all that often, so I don't have many to begin with. If you also include the fact that it has to be a 4-player compatible, then there's only 1 or 2 that I have. I'll just pick whichever one is newest. Fair enough. Keisuke starts fiddling with his games to look for the one we're going to play while Saya walks up to him, probably so they can talk about what they're going to do. Are you good with shooters? I look at the wolf with curiosity, trying to somehow get a feel for my partner. We do need to cooperate in order to win after all. I think so. We'll see. That doesn't exactly fill me with confidence. Would you prefer if I lie? No, I prefer knowing what to expect. I just wish I could have more confidence in what I'm expecting. I'll do my best, I suppose. How's that for encouragement? A little better, but not by much. I see. Oh man, we're going to get massacred, aren't we? Keisuke finally finds the game and pops the disc into the console, turning on his TV and giving each of us a controller. We're welcome to a rather sober-looking menu screen that immediately gets passed on to multiplayer mode. Alright, I've put us in a character selection, or at least what passes for it in this game. It's only really choosing what appearance you want. You get to pick your weapons as soon as the map loads, so don't forget to do that. Same! I also hope they do. Got it. Why are you looking so glum? Shooters really aren't my thing, so I'm afraid I'll be useless here. I don't play them much either, but I think they can be really fun. I think I just have to hope for the best. You shouldn't worry much. Alex might be humble about it, but even without experience, he's pretty good at shooters. Wait, really? Yeah, it's one of the reasons I never play them with him. He always kicks my ass. There's no fun to be had when you're constantly getting killed. Sorry. You don't have to apologize. It's just a me thing. Is everyone ready? I think so. As ready as I can be anyway. Alright, I'm gonna hide the staring. As ready as I can be anyway. I'll press start then. As soon as we get past the loading screen, we're spawned in what looks like a desert-based map. The place seems to be in ruins, with lots of rubble fallen all over the place, holes in the walls, and floor that you can walk through, and a lot of other stuff. I have to admit, I'm pleasantly surprised by the level of detail. What do you think we should do? I lean towards Alex to ask him for advice on our situation before the killing starts. Just make sure to always check the rooms before walking in, peek over the walls and that sort of thing. Always look where you're going. That should keep you from getting taken out from behind. I'll keep that in mind. Anything else? Don't die. That's not helpful. The wolf. I'm gay. The smile. The smile. Ah. The wolf grins, looking somehow very amused by my hesitation. I know. He's definitely having fun at my expense. Alex and I move around the map together. It quickly becomes obvious to me that I'm just walking around randomly while he follows me. Seems that he's trying to watch my back even though I have no idea what I'm doing. The gesture certainly makes me feel a little touched that he's so thoughtful over someone who might just end up weighing him down. I try resisting the urge to peek at Sai and Keisuke on the corner to find out where they are. That'll just be unsportsmanlike behavior. Watch out! Before I have time to react, my character is hit squarely in the chest by something. Luckily, my health didn't drop to 0, and I was able to hide behind the corner we were turning to escape. I told you to check before turning corners. What the hell was that? A blaster shot, probably from a sniper rifle. That's why I told you to be careful. There's a hole in my character's chest. Why is there a hole in my character's chest? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. This game is pretty gory. Cool. Not cool. I don't want to see a freaking hole seeping out blood from my chest. And then don't get shot. It's just a little bit of blood. Stop freaking out. How can you guys be so nonchalant towards this stuff? It's digital blood. I don't know what's gotten you so riled up. Besides, you're leaving your guard down. Duck. What? Duck! 2 shots fly right above my head less than a second after I hit the crouch button on the controller. He can hit me from here! We're in a bad position here. Let's retreat for now. Like I'll let you! Suddenly, my whole screen turns into a shower of red as I watch an explosion coming from below my character, turning him into a million small bits and pieces. Nice. Yuichi-san eliminated. Now for Alex. What the hell just happened? You were standing around without paying attention to the map and didn't see them closing into your position. Weren't you with me? Did you just abandon me? Alex, why didn't you help me? I'm not a babysitter. Those who get distracted are the first ones to die in the battlefield. This isn't a battlefield! At present, it is. You're acting way too hardcore about a video game. Yuichi-san, you're complaining too much. It's just a game. Relax. I just watched myself get blown up into a million pieces. That's not just a game. That's nauseating. Why do you even have a game like this? I bought it so I could play it with Alex, although we never got around to doing it much. I already told you that I don't have the time to play video games often. So I've heard. Excuse me, but aren't you doing the exact thing you chastised me for not doing 30 seconds ago? Hardly. I watch Alex shoot at what seemed like nothing. Then someone's head pops through the corner of that exact second and gets immediately blown out by a stray shot. What the? Mizuguchi-san. How did you do that? Did you shoot at random? Of course not. If you pay attention, you can hear the sounds of footsteps. I just calculated how long it'd take for that person to reach the corner and shot. You've got to be kidding me. It's not hard. It's just a matter of experience. I'm scared to ask what this experience might be, so I'll just keep my trap shut. What was it that you said? Oh, that's right. 1 eliminated. Only Keisuke to go. Crap. Hiding won't do you any good. Here. The order might be inverted, but I'll make sure to return your earlier present grenade. Wait! Ah! Ugh. All this gratuitous gore is still sickening. I like it. I see. This guy is terrifying in his own way. A screen pops up announcing our team's victory as well as performance stats. 0% accuracy. I guess that's to be expected since it didn't fire a single shot. I got totally carried by Alex. It's embarrassing to have played so badly. I wish I'd gotten Alex as my partner instead. Hey! Oh, did I say that out loud? You did. It's not like you did much either. You got killed instantly. Hey, I'm the one who killed Yuichi. Like that was a hard thing to do. Let me, get myself comfortable. Eh. It seems that defeat hasn't done their teamwork any favors. Talk about a fragile alliance. I can give you a few tips on how to play better if you'd like. Really? Yes, knowing Keisuke, he'll probably want to play a few more rounds so he can win at least once. Yeah, he can be really competitive when he wants to be. I'll try to explain it in a way that makes it easy for you to understand. Make sure to pay attention. Yes, sir! I guess he doesn't think I'm completely hopeless yet. The hours seem to pass us by leisurely as we continue to play games and joke around. It's surprising to see Keikun playing and laughing like this. It's so rare for him to lower his guard in front of other people, or at least I myself don't see it much often. Maybe Alex is more used to these kinds of things. These two have known each other for quite a few years already. When I think about it, I feel weirdly jealous of that. Despite how stuck up he can be at times, Keikun jokes around so freely with Alex. Wish he could act that way around me more often too. Yuichi-san, you're spacing out again. Sorry, what were you saying? It was nothing super important. We were just trying to decide on what to have for dinner. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's already starting to get dark. Wait, really? I look out the window and sure enough the sky has started to darken. Huh, I didn't notice it at all. Of course you didn't notice. You were spacing out as always. As always? I take offense to that. Mizuguchi-san is right. You space out all the time, almost as much as Kobayashi. Of course you two would gang up on me. Telling things how I see them is very different from ganging up. Either way, what were you thinking so hard about? Oh, it was nothing much. I was just thinking random stuff. Huh, that's less interesting than I thought. Well, not that it matters anyway. Do you have any idea what you guys want to have for dinner? I'll ask Kuroda-san to fetch us whatever you guys want. I want sushi! Oh, I'll go for whatever you guys want. There's no real point in trying to pander to me anyway, since I eat most things. Most things, huh? Except for anything that has tea, pepper, or milk. Well, I'm surprised you know that. I've learned my lesson. I'm making an effort to get to know my friends better. I also might have asked Mizuguchi-san a bunch of stuff about you. Though you're only half right. Green tea is the only kind of tea that I hate. I wouldn't go out of my way to get any other kind, but I wouldn't refuse them either. Heh, so you were serious about that stuff you said on being a more attentive friend and whatnot. McDonald's! Keisuke, can we have chicken nuggets and can we have chicken nuggets and chocolate milk? Keisuke? Of course I was. I'm a man of my word. Besides, it's embarrassing to not be able to treat the people who take such good care of me with the same degree of care. I think you're exaggerating things just a tad. Yes, besides, you're hardly a man yet. You're just 17. Well, I don't have to be 20 to be a man. I'm already plenty responsible enough. Not according to the law, you're not. Sheesh, do you always have to burst my bubble? Yes, it's one of my favorite hobbies. The wolf shows a hint of a smile as he says those words. Even if he seems stern all the time, the way he talks to and treats Keisuke is almost brotherly. You're terrible. Thank you. I aim to be. Either way, should I order us sushi then? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Sushi is pretty good. Yay, sushi! And you don't need to get excited over something so simple. But sushi's amazing! If you say so, I won't disagree. Let me just go. The door to Keisuke's room is suddenly opened without warning. My apologies for the intrusion, young master. Kuroda, one of Keisuke's butlers, walks into the room with another white hair that I don't recognize. It's an older woman wearing some expensive-looking clothes. The scowl on her face is terrifying enough that I can imagine children crying upon glancing at her. As soon as she walks in through the door, Keisuke's entire body stiffens up. Even Alex seems to respond in a similar way, although there is no change to his facial expression. As I'm left wondering who this person might be, she looks over the room, her eyes pausing on Sayonai for just a second before moving on. An incredible measure of disgust on her face. I see that the servants were not joking when they told me that you had guests. It seems you didn't even seem to think of seeking permission before inviting these people over to my house. It almost felt like she was biting her tongue to avoid calling us something else. Just the way she looked at me was already unfriendly enough that I dared not speak a word. And these are my friend's grandmother. I hardly think I need permission to invite them to my house. Your house? How odd. I don't remember seeing your name on the scripture for this estate. Last time I checked, it wasn't your name on it either. It was my father's name. So I don't think I need to be asking you for permission. The woman narrows her eyes, pursing her lips so much that they start to look like a single thin line. She glances at the TV, in which the last game we played is still being displayed for all to see. And what about this? Wasting your time on games? Don't you have better, more productive things to do if you have so much free time? So long as I produce acceptable results, then the way I spend my time is my own business, grandmother. You do well to remember that. The woman huffs, her eyes moving toward the wolf that stands behind us. Drake. Yes, master? The way Alex spoke his words was almost robotic, completely devoid of any emotion. I had thought before that he didn't seem to put much emotion into his words before, but just now the difference was so obvious that even I could notice it. I hardly think you're entitled to skip on your work to play games. My apologies, master. If you understand, then get back to work. I see that your next paycheck reflects your poor attitude. Yes, Hang on just a second. Alex is my personal butler. His job is to do what I tell him to do. And if I tell him to play games with me, then he is doing his job. She huffs upon hearing his words, opening her mouth to speak again. You don't have to cover for me. I failed to perform my duties in an acceptable manner. I'll take responsibility for it. What? But Alex... Good. It seems that at least the servant still knows his place here. Come with me, then. We need to discuss your punishment. Yes, master. Can I fight her? With one last look at us, the woman huffs once more, walking out of the room without another glance back. Alex follows behind her, her eyes looking much more stern and menacing than normal. That bit... Young master, please contain yourself. It would not do to insult your grandmother. Yeah, right. What? What just happened? Keikun... That was your grandmother? Yeah, she's a nightmare, isn't she? I have no idea what she's even doing here. She was supposed to be out of the estate for the entire day. I'm sorry, young master. It's my fault. The fox looks away, his tail going between his legs as his shoulders slump. Your fault? What are you talking about? In my excitement to see you finally bringing friends over, I let it slip to one of the other servants that you had company. It seems that the information was passed along to one of your grandmother's spies. And she went out of her way to come back here just to torment me? Ugh, I hate the fact that makes sense. You're kidding, right? Spies? She has spies here? Well, this is also her house. Even if we are servants hired by the Urushihara Corporation, not all of us have our allegiances to the same members of the family. The company is divided in factions that supports different members of the family. My father's faction is nothing but puppets to my grandmother. She's the one that controls everything. On the other hand, there are those of us who are loyal to the young master and wish to see him take control of the company, but he is unwilling to do so. I think you misspelled bitch. But he is unwilling to do so. Kuroda, even if I wanted to do that, you know as well as I do that there's no way I could really do that. The company wouldn't be passed on to me until they make sure they have a way of controlling me. Yes, that is also regrettably true. I didn't know you had so many issues in your daily life. Oh, okay. I try to keep my family drama away from my friends. No need to involve you guys in issues you have no way of helping me with. I'm sorry you guys had to see this. You don't have to apologize. She's the one who did it. Seriously, what's her problem? Grandmother hates me. She enjoys taking every opportunity she has to flaunt her power over me and makes me miserable. She was probably beside herself with the prospect of humiliating me in front of my friends. That's horrible. Why would you go out of her way to make you feel unwelcome at your own home? Because this isn't my home. Not really. I'm just a bastard to her. You think she wants to have me around? The only thing keeping me here is the fact that my father doesn't have other children. I'm pretty sure I said this before. To be honest, I didn't think you were serious about it. Why would I make shit like this up? That'd be ridiculous. Yeah, I'm sorry. Kuroda, please don't take this as me blaming you, but why didn't you warn me she was coming? I wanted to, but she made sure to order me to accompany her here just so I wouldn't have the opportunity to do so. Ugh. She's sneakier than I thought. I'm coming in. Oh, father, to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit? Come on, there's no need for that sort of tone. I ran into your grandmother as I was getting home and was informed you had guests. From the look Alexander gave me, I imagine she came here. So you also decided to make your presence known to my friends. I'm touched. The older hare's smile falters for a second. He awkwardly scratches the back of his neck, looking at the butler standing next to him. Kuroda, could you go have dinner prepared for us? Make sure there's enough for our guests. Very well, sir. Will your mother also be joining you for dinner? No, I came up with an excuse to give her so she'd go back to her friend's place. I figured that'd give everyone some quiet time. How very kind. What are the strings attached to your favor this time? Keikun, I don't think you need to talk to him like that. He seems to be trying to help. Pfft, sure. His help always has strings attached to it. His father looks away for a second, his gaze casting itself down to the floor. If we could just speak over dinner. There's no need. If you have something you want to ask of me, then just do so already. I'll be having dinner with my friends in my own room, thank you very much. Kuroda, could you have some sushi prepared and sent here, please? The fox looks between the two, hesitating for a second before speaking out. As you wish, young master. Kuroda walks out of the room, giving us one last uncertain look before closing the door behind him. That was unnecessary, Keisuke. Keikun, I don't think you have to be so harsh on your dad. He doesn't look like he means anything bad. Saya leans onto Keisuke's shoulder, whispering those words onto his ear. I see the older hare's ears twitch as he tries to listen to what she's saying, curiosity flashing in his eyes. Yeah, can't you go a bit easy on him? No matter how I look at him, I just see a man standing awkwardly in front of his son. I can't think badly of him like I do with Keisuke's grandmother. Please don't take offense to this, but you two are just outsiders looking in. You have no idea what he's like. He never comes to see me unless he has something to ask, and when I say ask, I mean order. Keisuke, I really don't think your friends need to see this. Can we just please step outside for a second to talk? Keisuke looks at the two of us for a second, the anger in his eyes dissipating just a bit. He's probably arguing with himself about whether or not to act this way in front of us. Fine. The two walk out of the room without saying another word, leaving Sai and I alone. That was surreal. I know, I feel like I shouldn't be here right now. Yeah, I got that feeling too. Although I'm sure K-kun would say we're crazy if we told him that. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure you're right. Saya looks away, biting her lip. She sits herself down in Keisuke's bed, awkwardly kicking at the floor. What do you think they're talking about out there? I have no idea. I'm honestly surprised at this whole thing. I knew his family life was tense, but I never imagined it was this much. Yeah, usually when people talk about family issues, they tend to exaggerate them a little because of anger, stuff like that. In his case, it seems like he was downplaying it instead. Do you think we should say something to him? What is there to say? Hey, I'm sorry your grandma's a bitch. By the way, I think you're too harsh on your dad. Maybe we just don't word it like that. You do agree with me, right? On what? Saya's ears flop down next to her face as she fidgets uncomfortably on her seat, clearing her throat multiple times before she speaks. That he was kind of out of line. With the way he talked to his dad, I mean, not with his grandmother. Honestly, fuck that woman. She's an old hag. Yeah, I agree. It really looked to me like his dad was feeling pretty bad about the whole thing. Saya nods, her eyes glued to her feet as she moves them forward and backward in the air. You think we should say something? Didn't we already do that? He wasn't exactly thrilled to hear it either. Yeah, but I don't know. It might sound stupid for me to say since I never really had many issues growing up, but I really think that family should stick together. If his dad is offering him an olive branch, I really think he should take it. His family problems have nothing to do with us, though. We have no business saying anything. No offense, but you're a real pushover when it comes to this kind of thing. Hey! It's true. Not our problem. None of our business. Keikun's our friend. If we see him doing something we think is wrong, it isn't our duty to say something, especially if we think it might help him. Sounds a lot simpler when you put it in such terms, but the reality is that he doesn't sound like he wants us to say something. He doesn't even want us to know about it. Sai jumped off of the bed, landing on her 2 feet. She looks at me with a sudden, fierce look in her eyes. Well, too late for that. The cat's already out of the bag. All it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. I'm going to say something, with or without you. First of all, I'm surprised you can even quote something as philosophical as that at all. She attempts to laugh, but only manages to elicit a dry, meek chuckle. You really do have a penchant for getting yourself mixed up with other people's business, huh? Fine, I'll back you up. Smiling, Saya walks up to me, giving me a soft pat on the shoulder. Thanks, I knew I could count on you. You're a real friend. Yeah, well, I just hope being a good friend to you doesn't end up costing us another good friend. I don't think Keikun would break his friendship with us just because we spoke up. Until today, we also didn't know how bad his relationship was with his family, or about their company being torn up. How much are you willing to bet on what we think of him? That's a fair point. We both jump up in surprise at the sound of the door opening again, scrambling to try and pretend that we weren't talking to each other like 2 kids that were caught doing something bad until we realized we had no reason to do so in the first place. Are you alright? I think so. Dealing with my family can be exhausting at times. My head is spinning. I'm sorry to hear that, Keikun. There's something that we kinda wanted to say. What is it? Sai and I both look at each other, swallowing multiple times and trying to come up with the courage to say what we wanted to say. We don't think that the way you treat your dad that it was right. Oh, how so? It's just that we get that your grandmother really is a bitch with a capital B, but your dad really looked like he was trying his hardest to be nice to you. I get that you might think he doesn't like you either, but I'll stop you two right there. His voice came out surprisingly soft. His knuckles were pressed tightly against the palms of his hands, and his nose was flared up with anger. But his voice still came out incredibly soft and low, to the point of being hard to hear. That by itself somehow made him sound even scarier than he would if he had been yelling at us. I think he doesn't like me? What do you know about me or him to tell me what I do or do not think? Okay, I think I might have expressed myself badly there. No, you expressed yourself perfectly fine. You two don't know what my family is like, but you still think you're entitled to give me your opinion on how I deal with them? You've seen my father one time, and you think you know what he's like? Well, here's a newsflash for you two. You don't. I lived with him for most of my life. He could barely ever talk to me unless it was to tell me to do something or to censor me, so I think I know what I'm talking about when I tell you what he's like. We didn't mean to offend you or anything. We just assumed. Yes, that's the problem. You assumed. You have no idea what things are like here because I make sure never to say anything about it because I don't want anyone else to get involved with my problems or having to shoulder my burdens. You don't know what it's like here. You shouldn't assume. I know what I'm talking about, okay? Believe me, I know. Is your dad really that bad? He seemed like he was trying to be nice. Seemed? My family lives on appearances. Why do you think my grandmother hates me so much? How do you think it makes her feel that her precious company is to be inherited by a bastard child? That's not an image she wants for the company, yet she has no choice. Do you want to know why he came over today? It wasn't because he wanted to ask me or to have dinner with me or to enjoy family time with me. He came to ask me to drop out of the light music club. How is it going to look for us if the people find out you're involved with rock band or some crap like that? Because once again, what matters here is appearances. Saya bites her lip, crossing her arms and rubbing her elbows, her eyes glued to the floor. Yeah, hi, Oh, I'm sorry. I really thought he was trying to be nice.
That's exactly the problem, isn't it?
Oh man, it's gotten really uncomfortable in here all of a sudden. How did he even find out about that? The band, I mean.
I'm not sure. I think I might have asked the principal to keep tabs on my activities in school. I wouldn't put it past either of them.
So you're just going to leave the club?
Hell no, screw him. I told him if he wanted to get me out of there, then he'd have to have me dragged out kicking and screaming.
That's a bit dramatic.
Maybe, but it still serves my point. I'm not going to stop doing something perfectly normal, and that I like just because of someone else's selfish desires. His image isn't my problem.
You think he'll try to do something to get you out?
Who knows? I've never known him to be much more than a simple spineless jerk, but I don't know how much it takes to get him to stop.
I bite my tongue to keep myself from making an unkind comment towards everything.
I really don't need to deal with you two criticizing me on top of everything else.
So, please don't blame Yuichi-kun. Talking to you was my idea. He didn't want to say anything. But, Saya, what are you doing? I'm telling the truth. I don't want Kei-kun to get mad at you for something that I forced you into doing. You didn't force me into anything. Wait, are you laughing at us? We're gonna leave off here tonight. Stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.